you doing? My name is Nathan Pyle. Yeah, thanks. And Threadless has changed my life. I started Threadless on Threadless 4 years ago, and it actually has made it possible for me to do art as part of my career, which had never happened before because I drew things, but no one would pay me any dollars for them. So I have actually changed my own career through my submissions to Threadless. I submitted 100 times to Threadless before they bought anything, but I didn't give up, and life has actually really changed because of Threadless. So I live in New York City now. I'm from Ohio. Anyone from Ohio? There we go. Jenny's Ice Cream is also from Ohio. Y'all like Jenny's Ice Cream? It's good stuff, right? So yeah, check out Jenny's if you haven't. They're terrific from Columbus. And my little brother is here. He lives in Columbus, Ohio. And Gabriel and I actually got to see each other. Threadless brings family together, which is awesome. So this is a beautiful thing. All are wonderful people. I think we could best start by doing a little song. Jeffrey, ready?
Yeah.
Just give me a beat, like ding 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 ding. Ready? This is a little theme song from a game I used to play. Keep going. There you go. Everybody sings this. I think you know this one.
I can't do this.
Come on, you got this. It goes. Everybody,
I'm
now
out of
fast.
breath. What just happened? I'm out of breath.
All right. There we go.
Did anyone get a vine? I'm so out of breath.
Anybody else play Tetris when you were a kid? Play Tetris at all?
I think everyone wants to know, how do you keep your hair so beautiful? Give us a little shake.
Truly, I actually use it's a special formula called Head and Shoulders. I use it every other day. I wash my hair because I think you're not supposed to wash your hair every day. I've heard that. And I got any good genes I got from my parents. So.
Follow-up question.
Follow up to that. Okay.
Do cartoon birds help you get dressed in the morning?
Do cartoon birds help me get dressed in the morning? No. The truth is I wear these shoes and jeans every day in New York. Every day, that's what I wear.
This may be overkill on the whole hair and beauty thing, but
Still
how
there.
do you get the sunshine to follow you wherever you go?
I guess I'm lucky. I truly don't. It's pretty dark where I live in New York. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, now real questions. Those were real, because we did want to know.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you started turning Threadless designs into Gifs, and that got over 150,000 views in a day. What inspired you to start this?
Well, if y'all have recently followed the news, people have been arguing over one thing alone in the news, and that's how you say gifts. How many of you all think we should say gifts with a hard G? Yeah? Okay. How many think we should follow the creator of gifts and say it with a soft G and say GIFs? Oh, yeah. Y'all are outnumbered. I actually think the graphic interchange format is one of the most fantastic, useful tools. It's been around for something like 20 years, and we turned a lot of the threadless prints, these things you see up here, we turned them into GIFs, and it became viral, and people on the internet just love looking at them. Really, really talented GIF makers out there. I don't really know how they do it even, but I thought this would be a fun idea, and we started it last year, and we continued this year with another GIF making contest. So this is some of the best art in the world, and when you make it animated, the internet just eats it up. So couldn't ask for a more fun contest. It was fun.
And so Gifs actually landed you a book deal with HarperCollins. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I post a lot to a website called Reddit. Anyone used Reddit before? Right on. They affectionately call themselves the front page of the internet. And so I posted a series of 12 GIFs to Reddit in March. It got about 900,000 views, and Huffington Post and Mashable and a few websites picked it up. HarperCollins, which is a publishing house in New York, called me and asked me if I wanted to do a book. And whenever anyone asks you if you want to do a book, you say yes, for sure. Don't say no. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm actually working on a book about New York City, and it's going to be published here in the spring. But every day I put up new tips about New York City. The name of the book is NYC Basic Tips and Etiquette. And the very first tip that I wrote and did a drawing for was beware the empty train car. There's a reason it's empty. And I don't know if you all ride the subway or the L or the train, whatever you call it here. But sometimes if there's an empty train car, you think it's going to be good, and you step in and you realize that there's something wrong with that car, you know? Like maybe someone did something in that car that's gross. So you get out of that car pretty quickly. And that's very, very true in New York. Don't go into the empty train car, because there's a reason why we all have stayed away from it, for sure.
You have a lot of strong concepts in your designs. How do you get inspired? How do you stay creative? How do you keep things fresh?
Well, I tell you what, and I have this on the slide, but I couldn't do this without my community member friends. If I have an idea, I like to post it up where it's in a very, very infantile stage, and then community members will tell me things like, that's dumb, or you shouldn't do that, or maybe they'll say things like, you should keep working on this because it has potential. And that's what this community is all about. We make great together because I can't tell if my ideas are funny or not. I think I'm funny all the time, but the community helps me to realize I'm funny maybe 1 out of every 5 times. Like the yeah, it's not bad. It's like the character. Anyone seen Mighty Ducks? Ever seen Mighty Ducks? Yeah, there's a character who hits it in once out of every 5 times, I think. There it is. You know what I'm talking about, Riley. I see you. Oh yeah, look at that. It's kind of romantic up here now.
Cut it out in the back row. See what you're doing.
All right, make great together with hero friends. That's what I call friends that are really good, because we all have friends. You know how you have friends on Facebook, but they're not really your friends? Well, hero friends are the ones that are really your friends. Truth is, I don't art very good. And then I actually, when I drew this little cat, this cat's trying to work with vectors, but he really doesn't know what he's doing. I really am like this. I don't know what's going on most of the time. So this is what a concept looks like when I first draw it. Look how bad that is. That's really bad, right? I mean, that's like a child drew that. Yeah. But what I think is good is the community is able to tell you, hey, you know, a killer whale dressed as death, that actually could be pretty cute. So you work on it for a long time, and it gets better. So it's still not perfect, but it's better. And I asked a lot of friends, I think David from Dallas, and I think Randy Otter, a.k.a. Aaron J. Those 2 guys helped me especially with this one. And it's good because that's what the community can do for you. So that's really what I use all the time with the internet. The internet, I posted this one. This was the very first tip I posted, like I said, about the book. And it said, beware the empty train car. It's empty for a reason. And sure enough, a lot of people liked that, and they told me to do more. So that's when HarperCollins called me up. And so this is the title of my book. This is the cover, New York City Basic Tips and Etiquette. So it shows you which cabs are vacant, and that you shouldn't stop right in front of the subway because that's the most annoying thing. And please stay to the right on the stairs. A lot of people don't know that because in America we stay to the right, and in other countries you don't. But we do in America, and this is America. Welcome to America. So this is how I work. Like I said, I don't know how to draw very well, so I usually am posing for my own kind of drawings. I think in this case, I was thinking about doing kind of this like strongman, like a circus strongman, but I decided not to. But I thought it would be cool to have like a guy with a cool handlebar mustache. And this is a classic hailing stance. You use 2 fingers and you point to the second floor of the building across the street. It's really silly stuff like this in the book. But it is definitely how you hail a cab in New York. Just don't stand in the bike lane. Y'all get bike lanes here, right? Yeah, don't stand in the bike lane. That's annoying. Also, a big rule in New York, you shouldn't really eat smelly food on the subway. That's a big deal because a lot of people bring their French fries from Shake Shack onto the subway, and it just gets crazy in the subway when there's French fries in there. I mean, come on. So I have a lot of creepy pictures of myself on the computer because I'm drawing over. Generally, it looks pretty creepy because I have these massive eyes and it looks just like weird. I also have a lot of unfinished concepts that way. This was going to be, I don't know if, again, it's unfinished because it takes you too long to get it. It's going to be boxers versus briefs. And this is really terrible because, first of all, you have to explain that this is a boxer. A boxer is a breed of dog. And you shouldn't have to explain concepts to people when you wear a T-shirt. So anyway, that's why I never finished that. But anyway, it looks kind of cool with the mixed media now. But like I said, all my stuff turns out really, really badly when I first draw it. Look at those hands. They're terrible. Hands are hard to draw. Anyone agree with that? Yeah.
Yes.
Hands are hard. Anyway, so I drew that, and someone said, I think it was actually Space Sick, Mitch. Space Mitch said, you should finish that. And so I finally finished it, and that was the most popular thing I ever drew for Threadless so far. And it's called I Love Being Around You. Right. So here's the thing. When you put your stuff on the internet, you know what happens is people comment on it. So recently, there's a Facebook page whose name I can't say because there are kids here, but it's called I Flipping Love Science. And they posted this recently, and it got 57,000 likes, and that's like a lot. But they post about anything, and it gets 57,000 likes because they have 6.5 million followers. So anyway, the point is that when you're putting your art on the internet, this is my main message. Just don't give up. And number two, understand how the comments are going to go. The comments are going to go something like this. People are going to say nice things like ah, or cute, or ooh. People are going to say stuff like that, and that's cool, and you shouldn't really listen to them too much because they'll probably say that about just about anything. Number two, they're going to make jokes. Still a better love story than Twilight. Or 3 minutes later, still the better love story than Twilight. Or this guy was pretty late. 21 minutes later, still better than Twilight. He didn't even try very hard. What's interesting here, this is a microcosm of how the internet works. The guy who actually posted still the better love story than Twilight got 9 likes on his comment. But the guy who put it in quotes and actually used the correct meme language got only 3 likes. I don't know why the internet works like that, but we all have experienced this. So a lot of people are going to make jokes because it's unrelated. This is their chance to be funny. A lot of people are going to make critiques. The hands are not drawn to scale. Improper disproportion of the ellipse. It's not evenly distributed. And here, finally, this guy knows how the internet works. If you want to get likes, you put it in all caps with 4 exclamation points. Not to scale. But then finally, hero friends. Hero friends are the people, and this is what we can all do for each other, and this is what I try to do when I see someone's art or someone else does it for me. These are the people who say, hey, I think they have a shirt of this on Threadless. And then this person said, I own a shirt with this print. You can actually get it here. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He's a hero. And then there's a guy from my church back home who said, is this the Nathan Pyle I know? And it was. It's the same. I haven't seen that guy in a while, but we're friends. So y'all are the best. I honestly couldn't do any of this without hero friends. And Jeffrey is one of them. Jeffrey's a guy who helped me when I couldn't draw a hand right, because hands are so hard to draw. And Jeffrey drew the hand for me. And that's a part of my history. Like, all these community members are a part of my life.
And it got printed.
And it got printed. It was There's Nothing Strange in Your Neighborhood. Thanks to you, Jeffrey, because I live near the Ghostbusters firehouse in New York. So, yeah.
Cool. So you're not a designer by trade. You've done freelance producing on television. Do you eventually hope to transition to a full-time designer illustration job?
Absolutely, yeah. In the book, Jeffrey's asking if I would like to transition. I would love to transition into full-time artwork and writing. Right now I produce small television shows. So I just did a show about volcanoes for the Weather Channel, and I got to go to Iceland and Hawaii. Has anyone been to Iceland? It's pretty great, right? Yeah, there you go. I know you did. Yeah, I know you did, Alex.
Alex did.
I remember those pictures. Iceland's terrific. There are only 400,000 people there. But we do these shows where we talk about how they're actually using natural disaster and natural hazards like volcanoes to power their country. So in Iceland, they're using a lot of geothermal energy. What's neat is I get to do science-related TV shows, and I get to talk about science a lot, which is one of my passions. And then I do art on the side. So sometimes I'm sitting in a hotel in Iceland doing artwork, thinking about you guys, missing you guys. Yeah.
Awesome. I guess it was only one more question, but because the last question was, what is your advice for artists? But you already did that, so I messed up. So I've messed up like 3 times up here.
Don't worry
but you
about
know who
it.
hasn't messed up? You. That was awesome. You were great. Let's give Nathan Pyle a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thanks. Awesome.